You watched the 10 most ruthless queens in history, and you thought that was dark. But these empires made every single one of those queens look like a saint. Welcome to the 10 most evil empires, the bloodiest, most terrifying machines of destruction humanity has ever built. Stick around till the end. Number 1, historians still can't agree on the full death toll, and the rumors surrounding their leader? Genuinely chilling. If you haven't watched the Ruthless Queens video yet, it's linked in the description. Watch that first, then come back here, if you dare. Number 10, the Aztec Empire, 1300s to 1521. Central Mexico. The Aztecs didn't just practice human sacrifice, they industrialized it. Priests climbed towering pyramids, dragged living captives to the altar, and ripped out their still beating hearts to offer to the sun god. At the dedication of the Great Temple in 1487, estimates suggest up to 80,000 people were sacrificed over just 4 days. Skulls were stacked on massive racks called tzompantli, some stretching an entire city block. Researchers recently found one such rack beneath modern Mexico City, containing over 650 skulls, including women and children. The darkest rumor? High priests reportedly wore cloaks stitched from flayed human skin during certain ceremonies. Locals called them the Walking Dead. Legend says the pyramids glowed red at night, the stones so soaked in dried blood they shimmered under torchlight. The Aztecs also fought flower wars, staged battles designed purely to capture living victims for sacrifice. Ruthless queens killed rivals for power. The Aztecs killed thousands just to keep the sun rising. Number 9, the Belgian Congo, 1885 to 1908. Central Africa. This one isn't ancient history. King Leopold II of Belgium never visited the Congo. He ran his horror show from a palace in Brussels, calling it a humanitarian mission. The reality? Every village had a rubber quota. Fail it, your hands got chopped off. Soldiers were required to bring back a severed hand for every bullet fired, so they started cutting off hands, even without shooting. There are actual photographs of Congolese fathers beside the severed hands of their own children. Estimated death toll, 5 to 10 million people. The rumor that haunts Central Africa to this day. Locals claim the Congo River ran visibly red for months during the worst years. A whispered legend says the spirits of the handless dead still wander certain jungle stretches at night, searching for their limbs. Leopold died wealthy, celebrated, and never faced a single trial. Number 8, the Timurid Empire, late 1300s to early 1400s. Central Asia. Tamerlane didn't conquer cities. He erased them. Surrender immediately or face total annihilation. And he always followed through. After capturing Isfahan, he ordered each soldier to bring back 2 severed heads, resulting in a pyramid of 70,000 skulls outside the city walls. Baghdad, 90,000 heads. Total death toll, an estimated 8 to 17 million people. The rumors are even darker. Medieval chronicles claim Tamerlane used live prisoners as human chess pieces, losers executed on the spot. Another detail that appears across multiple independent accounts. Birds refused to fly over the skull towers for years after they were built. Whether from smell or superstition, no one knows. Even the most ruthless queens would have barricaded their gates at the sound of his drums. Number 7, the Spanish Empire, 15th to 19th centuries, global. The Spanish arrived in the Americas with guns, disease, and absolute conviction that God wanted them to take everything. Within a century of contact, up to 90% of indigenous populations were wiped out. Estimates range from 50 to 70 million dead from violence, forced labor, and deliberate disease spread. The silver mines of Potosi were called the mountain that eats men. Workers' lungs rotted from mercury fumes. The Inquisition burned people alive in public ceremonies, attended as entertainment. The haunting rumor: sailors claimed the gold shipped back to Spain was cursed. Multiple galleons sank under mysterious circumstances, and sailors reported hearing screams rising from the waves at night, as if the stolen wealth dragged the voices of the dead across the ocean. They called certain routes the Road of Souls. They called it divine right. Historians call it the largest demographic collapse in human history. Number 6, the Ottoman Empire, 1300s to 1922. Middle East, North Africa, Eastern Europe. 600 years of empire, and fear was a primary tool from day one. The Devshirme system forcibly took Christian boys from their families, converted them to Islam, and trained them as elite soldiers, then sent them back to suppress the very communities they came from. The empire literally turned grief into a weapon. In 1915, the Ottoman government systematically massacred 1.5 million Armenians in one of the first genocides of the modern era. Entire communities marched into the Syrian desert without food or water. Survivor accounts share one haunting detail. The desert sands turned dark and wouldn't lighten for years. The legend in Armenian communities says that on certain nights, the wind still carries fragments of voices, a people erased but not forgotten. Number 5, Imperial Japan, 1930s to 1940s. Asia Pacific. They called it the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, a beautiful name for something monstrous. The Nanjing Massacre in 1937 killed an estimated 300,000 civilians and prisoners of war in 6 weeks. Then there was Unit 731, a secret facility where living prisoners were used as test subjects for plague, vivisection, without anesthesia, and chemical exposure. Thousands died. When the war ended, the US secretly granted immunity to Unit 731 scientists in exchange for their research data. The darkest rumor: locals near the facility claimed screams could be heard from the nearest village. They were told it was animal testing. Survivors say they knew. They just couldn't stop it. This was industrialized evil on a scale no individual ruler could personally organize. Number 4, the Neo-Assyrian Empire, 911 to 609 BC, Ancient Middle East. The Assyrians wrote the manual on psychological terror, and they carved their cruelty into stone walls as royal achievements. Flaying prisoners alive, impaling survivors on stakes along roads, burning entire cities. These weren't rumors, these were boasts. The psychological warfare worked so completely that entire cities surrendered without fighting simply upon hearing the Assyrian army was approaching. They knew what came to those who resisted. The archaeological rumor that circulates among excavators. Sites in modern Iraq show unusually high concentrations of human bone fragments mixed into foundation walls, as if the empire literally built on the crushed dead. Some scholars believe it was deliberate, a final message. You are not just conquered. You are the foundation. 300 years of pure, systematic sadism. Number 3, the British Empire, 1588 to 1997. Global. At its peak, the British Empire controlled a quarter of the planet and governed 400 million people. Maintained through exploitation, engineered famines, and violence that rarely makes the history textbooks. The Bengal famine of 1943 killed an estimated 3 to 10 million people. Not because food didn't exist, but because Churchill's government diverted Bengal's grain to European reserves, despite desperate warnings. Churchill reportedly responded by asking why Gandhi hadn't died yet. The slave trade, the opium wars, concentration camps in South Africa, documented torture camps in 1950s Kenya, only officially acknowledged in 2013. The chilling rumor among historians, British colonial officers reportedly kept tally books, not of battles, but of villages burned and fines collected, treating mass suffering as an accounting exercise. Some of those ledgers reportedly exist in private estate archives, never released. They called it civilizing the world. The death toll ran into the tens of millions. Number 2, the Roman Empire, 27 BC to 476 AD. Europe, North Africa, Middle East Rome, built roads, laws, and architecture that still stands. Rome also lined those roads with crucified bodies as standard law enforcement. After crushing Spartacus's rebellion in 71 BC, Rome crucified 6,000 slaves along 350 miles of road, left to rot as a permanent warning. The Colosseum opened with 100 straight days of games, killing thousands of humans and 9,000 animals in the inaugural event alone. Its drainage system was specifically engineered for blood volume. Roman writers themselves described the Tiber running visibly red on the worst days. The legend that persists among archaeologists, workers excavating beneath the Colosseum report an unusual and unexplained cold in the underground passages, regardless of season, and sounds on still nights that structural engineers cannot fully account for. Most dismiss it. Some don't. Rome gave the world civilization. It built that civilization on rivers of blood. The Mongol Empire, 1206 to 1368, Eurasia. Nothing else comes close. The Mongol Empire became the largest contiguous land empire in human history, and the path it carved was paved with the dead. Conservative estimates, 40 million killed, roughly 10 to 15% of the entire world's population. Some scholars push past 60 million. The world didn't recover those population numbers for nearly 200 years. Cities weren't just conquered, they were erased. When Baghdad fell in 1258, the House of Wisdom, centuries of irreplaceable manuscripts and scientific knowledge, was destroyed. Accounts say the Tigris ran black with ink, then red with blood for days. The Caliph was rolled in a carpet and trampled by horses, so no royal blood touched the earth. The legend about Genghis himself. Ancient chronicles claim he was born clutching a blood clot in his fist, interpreted by shamans as a prophecy that he would drown the world in blood. This detail appears in multiple independent cultural sources. His army reportedly drank horse blood on long campaigns, slicing a vein, drinking, then closing the wound, covering ground no supply-dependent army could match. Entire regions of Central Asia became dead zones, so completely depopulated that forests regrew over former cities. Travelers reported riding for days through silence where thriving civilizations had stood. Genghis Khan said he wanted the steppe empty and quiet again. He meant it literally. These empires made ruthless queens look like amateurs. The Mongols turned the entire world into their slaughterhouse. Which empire shocked you most? The skull towers? The hand baskets? Or the Mongols erasing entire civilizations from existence? Drop it in the comments below. Smash subscribe, because next, we're covering the 10 most evil kings in history. And I promise, it goes even darker than this. Thanks for surviving the darkest tour through human history. See you next time.